I'm Nancy from Black Sheep Knitting here in Needham, Massachusetts. We're a local yarn shop, and we have yarn and notions, and we teach a lot of classes, and we do a lot of workshops. Today, in my weekly podcast, I wanted to talk about mohair. So mohair, I think, has had a bad rap over the years. People think it's scratchy, hard to work with, but mohair's changed a lot over the years. And the newer ones have silk with it, which make it softer and nicer to knit with. But I wanted to talk about the origins of mohair. I don't think it was discovered or used until, 1400s or something. I'm not sure exactly. But it comes from Angora goats. It's the underbelly of, well, I don't think it's the underbelly. I think it's maybe from the whole goat. I was thinking of cashmere. Cashmere is different. Angora goats, and I think, I just want to double check in my notes that I'm telling you the right thing. Yes, so it's different from cashmere, which I think is from cashmere goats. I'm not sure. But Angora goats are different from Angora rabbits. So Angora, if you are buying Angora, that is the fiber that comes from the Angora rabbit, which is a big fluffy rabbit. Mohair is from a type of goat called Angora goat. So you don't want to confuse the two. Most of the Angora that we get is from two places, South Africa, which has a ton of it. Although I've been to South Africa, I didn't see any goats, but I guess they're there. And Texas, of all places, there are a lot of Angora goats there, and then they're scattered around the country. Anyway, over the last several years, mills have been putting together mohair with silk. So a lot of the mohair, at least the mohair that we buy here in the shop, has silk in it. And some of the ones we have, and I'll show you, are quite lovely. Oh, I should put these within reach. So we have, this is mohair from Malabrigo, and this also has, this is like, most of them are like about 28 or 30% silk, and you can see it adds to the sheen. It gives the mohair this shininess, which is really lovely. So we have, these are from Malabrigo, and these are variegated, sort of multicolored, which are really beautiful. Then we have, these are from Dirty Water Dye Works. I think I'm missing one. And they come in these gorgeous, gorgeous colors. They're just beautiful. And this again is 28% silk. So I'm guessing all of this, and the rest is mohair, that all of these come from the same place because the percentage of silk is exactly the same. So when you think about it, if you're buying yarn from different dyers and you say, oh, you know, La Bien Amie has the most beautiful yarn, it's so soft, it's whatever. But a lot of it is the same yarn from the same source. I don't imagine hers. She's a big enough company that she probably has her own source. But a lot of, like these, I dye yarn also, and these also I'm sure come from probably the same place that I source mine. It's just the dye that's different. And her dyes, this is Dirty Water Dye Works. I couldn't do this, I don't think, if I tried. They're so beautiful, the colors, and just completely soft. We also have in the shop, we have the Isair silk mohair, and this one is 75% mohair and 25% silk. But again, the silk gives it this beautiful sheen. We also have the tinned silk mohair from Sanus Garns. And let me see what they have 57% mohair, 8% silk, and 15% wool in this. But this is super, super soft. And this is the same thing. So we love these. They're beautiful colors. But the reason I bring this up, oh, here's another one of the Isair. Robin's holding it up to her cheek saying, so soft. One of the ways that mohair is used these days is you can double it, which I do recommend because it's hard to work with singly. It's really, you have to have a very sharp needle. It's just difficult, but when you put two together, and one of my customers made a beautiful, beautiful sweater holding 3 strands of mohair, and it just was scrumptious. It's just beautiful. But a lot of people are holding, now here's an example actually of the mohair held double. And so what this is, and this is a cowl called ombre cowl hood. I guess you can wear it over your head. But this is mohair doubled. So you start with the white doubled, and then you get this green. You drop one of the strands of the white and pick up the green. So in here it's green and white, and then here you drop the white and it's just the double of the green. Then down here you add this, drop one strand of the green. Here the green is doubled, and then you drop one strand and pick up one strand of this turquoise, and that becomes this sort of marled color. And then down here at the end is 2 strands of the mohair held together. And this is a lovely, lovely cowl to wear. You can put it over your head, do whatever. So that's a beautiful one. Here is mohair held together with a fingering weight in a gradient. So here it's held double throughout. So the white mohair is held with a light gray, a darker gray, and then a much darker gray. So we have kits like that in the shop. But this is super, super soft. I don't think it's one bit itchy, but some people are still a little bit sensitive to that. We also have, here's an example of a hat. This is a fingering weight with a mohair held together. Someone's coming in the back door. If you hear we're podcasting.
I'll be downstairs.
Thanks. So this is a hat called Lenny. It's a very popular hat here, and again, this is the 2 strands held together. So when you put this lace mohair, and all this mohair is considered lace, when you put it with a fingering weight, it ups it to probably a sport or DK, depending on what needle size you use. Another example is what I'm wearing. It's called Turtle Dove. And this was a yarn I no longer have here, held with a lace mohair. But this was a fun knit. It's super soft. And so I thought, well, if people are interested in doing this, we have this yarn called Cotton Merino Concept. It's from a company called Katia from Spain. And this knits at the same gauge as this. It's about 4 to the inch, I believe. So we have yarn that does that, makes it look like mohair, but it's not. And I guess that's all I had to say, except that mohair is considered to be warmer than wool, even. I'm not sure that that's entirely true, but that's what I read. And now I'm eating my mohair, sorry. But I also wanted to show you a substitute for mohair that we have in the shop, because even some people just won't knit with mohair, which is fine. But we got something that you can use in place of it and is even softer than the mohair. And this is Moondrake Surrey Silk Cloud. And what this is it's Surrey alpaca, baby Surrey alpaca. And all the yarns that are baby, it's when they've sheared the animal when it's young, and the coat is softer. And this has, then it's silk. And remember, there are some people who talk about wool and complain about how they they shear these animals. And I've seen a lot of shearing in my time. It doesn't look like they're hurting the animals at all. And they have to, particularly with sheep, I don't know as much with llama and alpaca, but I think it's true. They have to be shorn. They grow hair like we do. And if it gets too long, it's not good for them. And I know that they can get something in their backsides called fly strike, which is a very bad thing for these animals. So they do need to get shorn, and they don't get hurt. No animal dies when they're doing it. But so anyway, we have a whole bunch of these colors of this Moondrake Surrey alpaca, or silk cloud it's called, and we put it together with their sport weight, which is called soft sport. So we have these coordinating colors. So if you're still wanting a nice fuzzier if you need a little heavier gauge than the sport weight, you can put this alpaca with it, and then you'll probably get a DK or maybe even a worsted, depending on what you're making. I think that's all I have to say about mohair, but I do recommend trying it, knitting it with, and this is all the trend now in patterns that you see. Everybody is putting mohair with another color, with another yarn. Now it can be cost prohibitive to some people, and one of the suggestions I have is this is mohair with the Barocco Ultra Wool, and we have it Ultra Wool Fine, and we have Ultra Wool in the worsted weight, and it's a much less costly alternative. You can also use vintage with it. There are a lot of yarns that you can use. We have Lannis Light, the other reason for using a mohair is if you've got a yarn that's a little toothy or a little bit rough, you add a mohair to it. It's like a woolly wool, and you want to soften it up. This is the way to do it, to add mohair. That's what I recommend. So I have some other things in the shop. I wanted to show you some wonderful pom-poms that we have. These we call them vegan pom-poms. This is an artificial fur pom-pom, and these are great. They've got a ribbon on them, and you can pull that through the top of the hat, and you could thread it onto a button or something, or just tie a bow in it, or a knot, and then when you want to wash the hat, or if you wanted to put this pom-pom on another hat, you could do that. Robin's showing me some hats, but you can just put it on the top, thread it through, tie a knot, and when you want to take it off, either to wash it or put it on another hat. So these are a little pricey, but they're really, really good. So you could buy one and then switch it from hat to hat if you want to do that. But they look so real. I thought they're really good. So I have a couple of those left, and I'll probably get some more. This is another really beautiful. They're so fluffy and big. So they look a lot of fun. Let's see what it looks like with this one. So I think this is pretty. This is the, it's an Andrea Mowry called Shift Along. It's one of her Shift series, but isn't that a fun look? I really like that. We also have some pom-poms made from raccoons, Asian raccoons, and these have snaps, and so you sew the snap onto the hat, and then you wait, this one doesn't have a bottom oh wait, there it is. It has the bottom in the package, and then you just can snap this on. I was not thinking, sorry. You sew this little piece onto your hat, and then you can snap it on and off. Again, you could, we have extras of these little snap things if you want to sew it onto a couple of hats. So we have these, super silky and soft and floppy. They come in colors. I've got really pretty gray, color that I like a lot. There's a lot of noise going on outside here because once again, Eversource is here, and another person just came in, busy coming in the back. They're out there working on the road again, making noise for us. So that's new in the shop. And then also new in the shop is this wonderful little kid sweater. And I saw this knit up in another store and I thought we need to have it. It's called Baby Kylie, and it's made in Sandisgarn Baby Wool Lanette. And I just thought it was really cute. You could see two colors, and it's a superwash sport or finger. I think it's a fingering weight, and it's just nice and spongy and soft. So we like that. And also new in the shop, Fiola knit this up for us, and we have kits. And this is a cowl called Sugared Almonds. And I believe it looks like it has cables, but it doesn't. So it isn't really cabled, but looks like it is. It's just how you knit the pattern. So some clever person came up with that. And this is just wear this and keep you really warm. So I thought I would show you just a couple of samples of colors. This is made in Rasta. One skein will do it on a size 11 to 13, depending on how you knit. These are some of the colors. But we have lots more. We have lots of Rasta. So if you want quick, this is another one of our quick holiday gift ideas. So you could come in and check that out. They're online. The kits are online, so you can purchase them online. I think that's all I have with me today. I did want to talk about, speaking of holiday, we still have a few holiday, well, a little more than a few, holiday boxes. We've been putting them together, and some will get shipped out today. If you want to order one, feel free to call the shop, or you can purchase it online. It's filled with goodies. I think it's got, what does it have? Maybe 15 little different kinds of gifts in it, including yarn. So if you want a present for yourself or for a loved one, it's a good idea. And that may be all I have to say. Robin says I have something else to say, so let me talk a little bit. We still have some room in some classes. Oh, this was what we wanted to talk about. Robin's sister said, oh, do you guys sell Addie flips? Well, in fact, we do. They're called Flexi Flips. And if you're a sock knitter, you might love these. They are, you can do them as double points, and you can use three needles or 2 needles at a time. They are flexible in the middle. We have them in a size 3. So these would be good for socks or mittens. You just can work on 2 needles like this, and they are flexible in the middle. So those are in the shop. And we've sold a lot of the artifact bags, and we have more on order, but I don't think they're going to come until January 13th, he said they'll ship. Hopefully they'll come a little bit sooner, but I think this may be our last one of these fabulous artifact bags. They've sold really, really well. It's this heavy duty canvas, and it has these outside pockets. Oh no, I think we have 2 left in gray and in olive green. And I've ordered more. I think I might put in another order actually, because I didn't realize how quickly they were selling. This is the olive green, which I think is handsome. Really pretty. So we're in the midst of all of our holiday buying and selling. So if you're looking for gifts for people, we have ideas for very quick gifts that if you want to knit something for a friend or a loved one. So come and visit us. Remember, our hours are 1 to 5. We have people who come in the morning, and I'm sorry, sometimes we can help you, but mostly in the mornings, every morning, we have a class here in the shop. So that's why we don't open until 1 o'clock. So have a great week of knitting, and I'll see you soon. Thanks. Bye.